Alrighty guys, another animated entry to talk about here on this platform. But trust me, it's not like one of your average Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, Illumination, Warner Brothers, and even Sony animation films that is all colorful and kid-friendly. No, not this movie. It gets depressing and much more dour and grim than that. I'll explain why throughout the course of this review in just a few moments, but for now, cue the intro. Yo, what is up, my Cinedroids? G to the S here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing an animated film that is based off of the short film of the same name, 9. About, coincidentally enough, 9 himself. Played by Frodo Baggins from the Lord of the Rings movies, Elijah Wood. Surprised to see him in this movie. But anyways, when he springs to life, it finds himself in a post-apocalyptic world where humans no longer exist. And the only signs of life are these sentient ragdolls, much like itself, and also the machines that hunt them. Though it is the youngest of the group, 9 convinces his comrades that the only way to fight against the machines is to stop hiding. Go on the offensive. And also to find out why the machines want to destroy them. As 9 and the group learn, civilization hinges on their success or failure. Now, first off, let me just say this. Sure, the CGI as well as its cinematography has not aged well since it came out all the way back in 2009. But the style that they went for is a very bleak and depressing dystopian future where everything's a big giant wasteland full of rubble, dead bodies, you only see them briefly, and no signs of life exist in this world that the Stitchpunks are living in. And for me, they take their time and effort into creating how dangerously poisonous this world is. I won't spoil it for you guys on how it was poisoned, but all I'm saying is the people over at Focus Features and Relativity Media did a fantastic job on creating this world, and also building the characters throughout the whole movie. The character development in this movie is on full display here. And like I said, they don't just introduce the characters and that's it. No, in terms of execution, they set up backstories for these characters, showing us why they were isolated from the dangers that will threaten their very lives. And in terms of the film's dramatic and emotional moments, there are scenes in this movie where the characters do die horribly, and they don't cut the gruesome violent scenes away on impact, like other family movies do. No, for this movie, it's their way of saying, we're not pulling no punches here. It's time for us to show you how to care about these characters even more. And they definitely did go the extra mile throughout the whole feature. Kudos to Universal Pictures for depicting gruesome violent moments in a PG-13 CG animated film. Let's see if you can keep this up from here. I also thought the voice acting direction from Shane Acker was also done really well. Sure, they're not flailing all over the place and over exaggerated like most animated characters do nowadays, but at the same time, they're not dull and boring either. Say what you will about it, but while I was watching this movie, my eyes were glued to the screen. In terms of the movie's story and plotline, I was hooked on what these characters are going through. Even when the action sequences come in to further the story, I was entranced and intrigued on seeing which of these poor Stitchpunks could even survive this huge hellish mechanical monstrosity by the time the movie ends. No spoilers, but there was one scene where one character took the bold sacrifice to not only bring new life to this world, but also to give proper closure to a character that has been a shut-in these past few years or something? I don't know. Point is, that scene I felt like was a proper sacrifice to that character. Again, kudos for not sugarcoating the gruesome animated violence throughout this whole film. I mean, it doesn't get very bloody and gory. They only show the civilians getting shot down without any blood or organs splattered across the whole place. That would have been a hard R real quick. But no, the only violence that they show in this movie is the Stitchpunk's souls getting sucked out by this huge robotic spider-like nightmare and having them trapped within that contraption that their souls were sucked from their bodies. No blood or gore whatsoever. But still, even though that there's nothing too inappropriate in this movie, like I'm talking that there's no vulgar language, no sexual content, no evil demonic witchcraft, and no drug or alcohol use or even being referenced. The movie got the PG-13 rating just for the dark subject matter, hellish imagery, and scary robotic robots that hunt the Stitchpunks down, and just only to scare them. That's it. But this movie is still not age appropriate for kids 3 and under at all. This movie is meant for kids ages 12 and up. So kids, if you're out there watching this review right now, if you're curious about this movie, I suggest that you just wait until you're at that age to watch it. Because I don't want you to have nightmares after watching it. Or even worse, have you sleep in your parents' room when it's your bedtime after watching this movie. So again, please wait until then to watch it. That's my personal PSA to you. Now, my only complaint with this movie is that it could have picked up the pace just a teensy bit, and the characters could have been fleshed out a little more, like with the character of 8, played by the video game voice actor himself, Fred Tatasquire. But I feel like they could have had a much more character arc with him than that. I also felt like 1's character, played by the late and great Christopher Plummer, was too much of a more controlling shut-in, shrouded by nothing but fear and anxiety whenever something horrific comes their way. I mean, I get that's his character, and that's what he's known for. But again, he could have been a much more fleshed out and three-dimensional character than that, regardless. But still, I consider this movie to be creative for what it is. I feel like Tim Burton knows what he's doing, and I'm glad that he crafted a movie that is not necessarily just kid-oriented material. They go to very, and I mean very harsh levels of reality, too much for the kids to bear. So on that note, kudos to Universal Pictures for incorporating that. So with that said, guys, in the end, I thought 9 was really intense. I don't care what you haters say about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it from beginning to end. And as a result, I rate the movie 9 a 4 out of 5 stars. Again, you don't have to agree with my opinion, but for those of you who are interested in checking it out for yourselves, do yourself a favor and do so. It's super intriguing. So 9, have you seen it? If you have, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Answers down below, please. Also, if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share it with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. Also, if you want a shout out in a future video, just follow me on Instagram and I will choose one of my Cinedroids to be displayed as a shout out. The link's in the description below. Also, I set up a Patreon page for you guys where you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I understand. But if there's a rare chance that you are interested in doing so, there's a link in the description so that way you can visit my page and gain access to up to 4 membership tiers. On my page, I post reviews a week early before you get to see them posted on this channel. I also plan to do book reviews, fan nerdy polls, and while you're at it, I'm going to be doing TV show episode and movie reactions on my page as well. So if that's your cup of tea, go to the link below, become a patron, and let's get to know each other a bit more. Also, if you want to subscribe to my gaming channel, there's either a link in the description or at the icon card at the top right corner of your screen. Go over there, subscribe, and let's just have fun together. Also, if you want to subscribe to my GS Productions After Dark channel, where I do reviews of mature rated movies, TV shows, and video games, even though my commentary about them can be family friendly regardless, there'll be a link in the description so that way you can visit my channel if you're feeling frisky. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.